don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking president. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Oh!
The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, released a new video revealing the tense minutes before a federal agent shot and killed a woman on a quiet Minneapolis street. DHS says the footage exposes the truth, while critics say it raises even more disturbing questions. The footage, released on Saturday, was posted to DHS's official X account and appears to be filmed by a citizen from inside a nearby home. The 3.5-minute video shows multiple immigration and customs enforcement vehicles lining a residential street during what officials describe as an active law enforcement operation. In the background, a car horn can be heard blaring repeatedly, while a person is heard continuously blowing a whistle, escalating the tension captured on camera. At one point, the video pans toward a Honda Pilot parked in the middle of the road, which authorities say belonged to Renee Nicole Good. DHS claims Good was interfering with ICE officers throughout the morning and was actively impeding their operation. In a sharply worded statement, DHS accused the media of misleading the public about what happened in Minneapolis. The agency said new evidence shows the woman was stalking federal agents and deliberately obstructing law enforcement activities. DHS further claimed the video proves the legacy media has lost the trust of the American people. The footage was released 3 days after an ICE agent fatally shot Good during what officials describe as a rapidly escalating confrontation.
Get out of the car. Oh!
Federal authorities say the agent fired in self-defense after Good allegedly drove her vehicle toward officers on the scene. They have characterized the incident as an act of domestic terrorism, a label that has triggered fierce backlash.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Oh!
This is an experienced officer who followed his training, and we will continue to let the investigation unfold into the individual and continue to follow the procedures and policies that happen in these use of force cases. But let's remember the events that surrounded what happened yesterday on that tragic situation was that these individuals had followed our officers all day, had harassed them, had blocked them in. They were impeding our law enforcement operations, which is against the law. And when they demanded and commanded her to get out of her vehicle several times, she did not. So we'll continue to allow this process to unfold, and recognize that these law enforcement officers every single day put their lives on the line. They go out and do their jobs. They go out and...
Also a domestic terrorist, though, without...
This was an act of domestic terrorism, which is perpetuating...
...into who she was or what she was about, and yet now you're saying...
These policies and procedures that follow a use of force situation like this are continuing to be put in place. So this is standard operating procedure after every use of force situation, is that we follow these procedures and protocols. You know, we've got thousands of officers there, and I'm not opposed to sending more if necessary to keep people safe. Back up here.
Talk a little bit about the experience of the officer and some of his background. How much training did he have? How much training in these types of situations did he have, even if he's from the region?
Yeah, I'm not going to get specific to this officer, but he's an experienced officer that has served a number of years, and we recognize that he acted according to his training, and we have expect that all the policies and procedures of review will be exactly that he acted appropriately to protect his life and the life of his colleagues and fellow law enforcement officers that were there and people that were surrounding us.
The head of Minnesota State Investigations Agency said that they had been cut out of the investigation into the fatal shooting in Minneapolis. Can you explain that reversal?
I'd like to know where they've been and why they're not out on the streets investigating all of these people that are harassing and inciting violence on law enforcement officers right now. They're allowing this situation to be volatile. They're not doing their work. They haven't for years, and maybe they should get to work a little bit on the unprecedented fraud that we've seen in Minnesota. Yes, sir.
They've been cut out.
They have not been cut out. They don't have any jurisdiction in this investigation.
How do you respond to Americans who have been listening to your comments that this was an act of domestic terrorism, that the officer was...
Anytime you take something...
...is in direct contradiction to what they are seeing and watching in the multiple angles that have been released.
What I would... This vehicle was used to hit this officer. It was used as a weapon, and the officer feels as though his life was in jeopardy. It was used to perpetuate a violent act that this officer took action to protect himself and to protect his fellow law enforcement officers. So we'll let this continue to go forward and follow the same policies and procedures that every use of force situation does. But we've had almost over 100 times that these vehicles have been used to ram law enforcement officers and to do damage and to harm them. When you take an action and use a weapon to harm someone and to incite violence against them and try to cause them injury or death, then it needs to be labeled exactly what it was.
Do you believe the use of force in this instance was commensurate with the actions of that vehicle and the driver?
I would say that when these individuals use their vehicles to try to ram our law enforcement and to put their lives in jeopardy, that law enforcement officer has to make a decision to protect his life and the individuals around him as well.
Democratic leaders and civil rights advocates strongly reject that description, condemning both the shooting and the language used by federal officials.
This guy has a gun. They're firing guns.
Critics argue the video raises serious questions about the level of force used and the conduct of officers in a residential neighborhood. The incident has intensified scrutiny of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement tactics and the role of ICE in civilian communities. Protests have erupted, calls for accountability are growing, and the video is now being examined frame by frame.
I do not want ICE in my community. ICE is not making us safer.
The child of immigrants who came here in the same pursuit as all your other neighbors in Minnesota.
ICE is creating chaos. ICE is going to our schools at dismissal time, creating violence, creating terror, creating fear. ICE killed an innocent woman. We do not want them here. All walls have got to go. My ancestors immigrated to this country. At one point in time, my ancestors were new here. They had accents. They had to learn English. They had to adjust. We need to support everyone here doing the same.
Like we said, KKK, ICE, CBP, all of them are here not to protect.
I am for peaceful, nonviolent protest. I am not well informed about the clashes last night, but ICE is just bringing more violence and chaos to our community. We don't want them here.
Fuck ICE! Everybody! Fuck ICE!
They need to listen to us. The government needs to listen to us. We are the people. We are the voice. They are supposed to serve us, all of us.
Kick ICE out the door!
I find some hope in our unity and our solidarity and all these people coming together. There are hundreds and thousands of people out here today coming together because we want to support our community, everyone in our community, no matter what their background, no matter where they come from and when they came to this country.
Occupation by ICE is just beginning.